introduce the game for us?
Sure, this is Momodora, and this is a Metroidvania, where you control Kaho from the Kaho village, and she's like a maiden or something. I am quite bad with the lore of this game, but you attack with a sacred leaf, and you can roll, and you can jump, and you can also double jump. And you can also roll while jumping, and that's a pretty good and precise trick. It's actually frame perfect.
Let's
Right
see.
now they are.
Yeah, I was just I looked up the stats here. It looks like heyyyhoooo has the world record for this category, and Pawn is his PB for this category is about 3 minutes behind. Yeah, about 3 minutes behind. It's ranked 17. That doesn't mean Pawn's not any good. He is quite good. A lot of RNG probably went into that world record. So, so yes, this is still going to be quite a tight race here. But yeah, as a side note here, yeah, movement is actually the most important thing that you should be focusing on in this game, in my opinion. You can, as you can see here, heyyyhoooo, he's got really smooth movement. He's already picked up what I would say is about maybe 5 seconds or so on Pawn. So
Maybe
a lot of people, maybe more. A lot of people get stuck on bosses when they start this game, but really, movement is the most important thing that you should be focusing on.
I think movement is more like what you want to do when you want to really improve, but bosses fights are like essential, so you can do those without getting hit, so you can get items later. Like, boss should be the basic, I guess.
The boss items, and by the way, yeah, what Catnip says here is actually pretty essential. If you beat a boss here, as we see heyyyhoooo arriving at Adia, let's see what strat he goes for. I'll mention it in a minute. Oh no. So he is going for the quick kill here, and he doesn't get it. He didn't do the setup he showed me on his stream. Pawn's going for the safe strat as well. And he gets this quick kill, so that actually puts Pawn in the lead. Just a little bit. And yeah, why don't you tell us about boss items here?
When you defeat a boss without getting hit, or without your HP changing, like if you heal, it will also happen that you won't get. But if you do that without your HP changing, you will get an special item after the fight, which most of them are quite important for the run.
The item they just got is called Adia's Pearl, which adds a poison cloud to your arrows. This one's not actually terribly important for the run, but it is useful. It speeds up boss fights a little bit. The real important item is coming up as we approach the second boss here.
They are pretty much synced right now.
Yeah, even despite being behind by a little bit, heyyyhoooo's just optimal movement has pulled him up ahead by a matter of seconds here. So this is Mocha. Now, Catnip, I think you started the game relatively recently. How do you feel about Mocha?
Mocha is like the worst part of the game by far. Like that small piece of unpredictable evilness. Like, is the true final boss of this game by far.
Looks like both these runners got lucky getting Mocha with the curse balls. heyyyhoooo, and I'm kind of a little bit behind here. But yeah,
no
it looks
dive,
like
though.
No dives for heyyyhoooo. Pawn took a dive.
Oh.
I shouldn't have said the word dive.
It was a curse.
Every dive will eat up about 12 seconds or so. At least 12 seconds, maybe more. So that's going to set Pawn back by quite a bit here.
And another dive. Oh my god.
And the poison doesn't look like he could finish it. Sometimes you get lucky and the poison finishes the boss. The poison did finish it. Last tick, probably. How fortunate.
That was scary.
So the item pawn that both of them just picked up actually is called the Bachman patch. I think it's quite universally agreed upon that it is the most important item for the run.
Pretty much. Not only for damage, but you can skip a switch in a later stage of the game. That like saves so much time.
Yeah, there are quite a few switches. Let's see. We use it for, I think, is it just the one switch, the second switch? Well, we'll mention it when we get to it. Right now, they're both in the underground. Oh Lord, subterranean grave. That's what it's called. The subterranean grave. They're stopping by. They're going to make a slight detour here on the way to the boss to pick up the garden key. This garden key is important for unlocking 2 doors. Only 2 doors in this run. So you can see heyyyhoooo just picked it up here.
Oh no!
Oh!
The spikes. Ouch.
Mamma mia! He just you saw at the beginning there that he had a little chat with Princess Airy, and that chat takes up about, I don't know, 30 seconds with my button mashing. It might not be as bad for people that are better at button mashing, but that is a painful time loss.
Yeah. Also, the water segment is not the fastest, even though it's not as relevant as others. So that's a lot of time loss.
Yeah, your movement's actually quite slow underwater, so you want to make sure you're rolling as much as possible. heyyyhoooo's got his smooth movement here. I'm surprised he didn't go for the roll jumps there.
He's going safe.
So, unfortunately, took up a little extra time with the maiden. I don't know, did he damage boost there on purpose so he could just walk past the top firekeeper there?
I don't think that may be done in purpose. Like, maybe? Like, it seems hard. Even though the upper keeper always hit me, it's not like always throws me into the other way.
So heyyyhoooo's fighting derelict Frida now. There are a few strategies to fighting Frida, and by a few I mean 2. He's doing the relatively unsafe one. If you're not too careful, the melee strat can result in more teleports, but you're still picking up time compared to the other strat, which is just sitting in the corner and just firing arrows. And he got the best attack Frida can toss you is the laser, the giant laser, which he got at the end. Unfortunately, he had to sit through a dog and a teleport before then.
Even then, he got some, like, quite a lot of hits when she charged the laser. So
yes, charging the laser is the best attack you can get from her because. If you attack her 4 times there, you'll stagger her, so you can get 4 melee attacks, and melee attacks in general do more damage than arrows. So.
Oh my god, Paul. Why? This room can be quite annoying.
It looks intimidating, but the trick is just to just keep walking to the right and jump. You'll make it every time.
Whenever,
Promises.
except when you don't do it. It's quite consistent.
heyyyhoooo here is approaching the second boss, our friend, Miss Personality. Miss Personality. So you fight her for a second time. Now this is now we mentioned you needed to make sure you don't get hit on any of the boss fights. You can get hit on this one. The item she gives you is called the Torn Branch, and it's only useful for healing yourself upon killing enemies. We don't use it in the run, so heyyyhoooo gladly took a poison attack.
Oh no, he got hit by the laser. No.
And he's choosing to reset it too. That is.
That's.
What was his last bell? Oh, it wasn't that bad.
He got it. Yeah.
He got the jellyfish though.
Jellyfish blasted this run. He'll save about 3 minutes now, just because he got blasted by the vision. Just need the golden backman now.
So heyyyhoooo's a cat now. I think word of God is that when you kill Lubella the second time, the curse afflicting Lubella afflicts you. So you get turned into a cat, which in all honesty is actually not the worst curse.
It's not even a curse. Would
Yeah,
you like to be turned into a cat? Like, oh my god.
Depends on the kind of cat, I suppose. You could be one of those weird cats.
Every cat's a good cat, though.
This is true. So, heyyyhoooo's working his way up, where he meets our good friend, and I memorized the name now. It's Paramol. You happy? Paramol.
Wait, that's his name?
That's his name. Paramol. He holds you up.
No.
I was actually skimming through the game files today, so I looked up. I just happened to see his script files as I was looking for the names of regions. So Pawn's going for the safe strat here on Frida. If you fire arrows from that corner, like she can eventually creep up to you, but if you're firing arrows fast enough, it usually doesn't happen. Now Frida, heyyyhoooo, he sort of looked like he forgot where he was going. He went to the right, and then he just, entered the room and was like, oh crap, I forgot where I was going. Then he turned back to the left. What's going on there?
He was actually scared of this fight that's gonna happen now. It's like the hardest boss in the game.
Oh yeah. That's a hard boss, alright.
I know, right? And that was it.
So he's actually taking a peek at the bell. The point of Momodora is, what you're doing here is you're collecting the 4 key crests so you can unlock Karst Castle. Now, he picked up the first crest behind Frida. It allows you to charge your arrows a little bit faster. The second crest he's going to pick up now lets you teleport between specific bells. You don't need to touch the bell, you just need to peek at it. So he entered the room in the monastery, so he could teleport back to it after he picks up the crest here in just a minute or so. And Pawn finally got through the Frida fight here. Ooh, he's making that roll jump I never make.
That's quite precise. I always miss it. And no golden backman, sadly.
Yeah, I think there are 2 spots you can get a golden Bachman. There's that one, and then there's one in the castle. I don't know if there are any others. So now heyyyhoooo's got his warp crest, so he's gonna walk back up to the bell. You can teleport from any bell. You just can't warp to any bell. So he's gonna be wait, I think I still have audio on Pawn too. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, he's going to be entering the Cinder Chambers here, where he meets the Heretical Arsonist and another good friend of ours.
Arsonist is one of those bosses that whenever you think you figure it out, you learn new stuff about it. It's so annoying. Every day a new way to die to her.
The Arsonist can be a tricky fight if you're just starting out. There are a few ways to manipulate her movement, but optimal melee and arrow strats, and you're usually good to go. If nothing else, charged arrows, half-charged arrows will get you there.
heyyyhoooo going for to manipulate her position, trying to go as to the right as possible.
Yeah, the position of Arsonist actually really matters. So she'll drop the item where she dies, but you want Kath here to be beside you, or whenever that happens.
Ouch.
Yeah, he took a whip from the mistress, so he's going to I guess reset for the heavy arrows here, not the incense here. Many people would say that's probably the second most important item, second or third most important boss item in the game. Fight's pretty straightforward though, so it's no big deal. Terminator Walk is honestly one of the better attacks you can get because you can safely melee her from the Terminator Walk. and pawns
and
here.
if you melee hard twice, you can stagger her for some time, and there you go.
So that's after she teleports. Always after she teleports, you can stagger her after 2 melee hits. Now I've forgotten her name. Kath. Kath was a little bit far away. So she had to waddle over to Kaho. And then call Kaho a roach. But overall, heyyyhoooo's in a pretty good spot. I don't think he has anything to really be worried about if he eats a loss.
What happened to his splits, though?
Lord knows. I guess.
Oh, I think he has the reset thingy.
He might have the reset. Yeah. Reset.
Oh no.
That'd be unusual to have. Do you? I don't know. It depends on the
he
category
has
he was
it.
running.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a pretty good cat RNG right there.
Cat RNG, dude. Do tell me more. What is this cat RNG?
There are 7 cats in this room, and this is the cat lady room where you get a monastery key. And while Kaho talks to the lady, you get to stare at those 7 beautiful cats that are there. They can be caramel, white, or black, and they are all random every time you enter the room.
Pretty sure I saw 8 cats in there.
No, it's 7. Always 7.
The 8th cat, of course, would be Kaho still being in cat form.
Oh, there's that.
So, next boss here. This is my good lady, the partner Fennel. This fight doesn't really take that long.
There we go.
There you go. And then heyyyhoooo goes for the BM Bachman patches. I don't know why. He felt the need to add insult to injury. But with that, we enter the second half of the game. We have all 4 key crests. The third one you picked up behind Arsonist allows you to
Air dash.
air dash, yes. And the 4th one?
The 4th one allows you to charge 1 more your arrows, like 1 more level. You can charge your arrows about 3 different levels, I think, normally. And you get the 4th one that's used during the last boss fight mainly, and during this next one too.
Yeah, you have. I'd say there are 4 arrow states. There are uncharged, half charge, full charge, and then supercharge. And he just picked up supercharge from. Oh my gosh, heyyyhoooo's having a lot of difficulty with the pigeon room there. That one's kind of a pain.
What do you call this area of the game? What's your name for it?
I call it the Oritsugaro.
That seems quite right.
I looked up since everyone seems to have difficulty calling the Royal Art Gallery, the Royal Pinacotheca, whatever name you have for it. I figured I'd look it up in Japanese. It's a bit easier. I looked up in Danish too, and Lord save me. Portuguese, I guess, for you. It looked like it's Pinacoteca Real, from the look of it.
Yeah, would be like it. I didn't know they were pronounced the same way though. And Pound just got over the Arsonist with no difficulty so far.
That'll let him pick up a little bit of time here, but heyyyhoooo's already entering the Ornstein and Schmo fight here, so he's got quite some ground to pick up. Ooh, he took a hit.
That was so unlucky.
So this will bar him from the 1 cycle phase 1 queen, unless he uses some extra items. But I don't think heyyyhoooo's terribly concerned. It's still faster to just eat the loss of the heavy arrows.
Yeah. Also, it's faster to just like lose the first phase quickly than like resetting to that safety ball and doing the fight all over again. And now Pound is at the cat room, and he has a really good cat RNG too. Like, look at those cats. There are 6 white cats and 1 caramel. So good.
Didn't have any black cats.
Yeah,
I think heyyyhoooo had 2 black cats, so I think his cat distribution was better. But Pawn picks up the lack of black cat. heyyyhoooo's making a little detour here to pick up his green leaf. There's this little sidetrack, a little side mission he did while I was in the Oritsugaro, where he picked up the sealed wind, which he needs to unlock to blow wind up this windmill here, and go in the underground section to paint his leaf green. Why does he do that?
He does that so he can get the true winding. Like, if you just ignore that and go to the final boss, after you end the game, the game doesn't say you completed it. It just feels empty, and you will feel regret for not having it. So you must do that. So that's a real run.
If you don't pick up the green leaf, you will your queen fight will have 2 phases rather than 3, and I think this has been the trend. There have been some. I know it's been like this kind of since what's it called? Momodora 3, I think. I think the queen also had a hidden 3rd phase in Momodora 3. But I might be remembering it incorrectly now that I think about it. heyyyhoooo's entering the clone angel fight here. This is actually kind of another joke fight. So she spawns clones of herself.
He
guessed
missed
incorrectly.
Oh no.
There's a general trick to figuring out which angel is the correct one. Just look for the one flying lowest. He decides he doesn't want to deal with the fish, so he's gonna go try again.
Oh god.
If you can't quite see which one's flying the lowest, the alternative plan is to just go to the one that's always on the right. For some reason, I think there's only one real left pattern at the start here anyway. So she has 2 angels right now. So he's going all the way to the right to get the one on the way on the right. But if there were 3 angels, again, you might see it all the way on the right. That's very, that's just the way the RNG tends to work out. And yeah, he's quickly approaching the queen fight here. Let's see if he has to eat a second elevator trip while he's losing time.
And Pawn is almost on the Lupiar fight. Let's see how that goes.
Lupiar fight's a common wall for newer players, but it's honestly a pretty easy fight. I'd say the Arsonist fight is actually a little bit trickier than this one.
It's mostly about Lupiar rolling too much or not at the beginning, I would say.
Looks like Pawn's gonna make it through this fight pretty cleanly. heyyyhoooo's on the last fight of the game, the queen fight. Now he doesn't have the heavy arrow, so he can't one-cycle the queen. So he's gonna have to. It's gonna take him a little bit longer to do it. Really, the only thing you need to watch out for on the queen fight is just make sure you don't take too much damage, so you can't use the tainted missive entering the last phase here. And we haven't talked about the fight, the items themselves, so I guess we'll make a note to do that in the next run.
Yeah, sure.
But the short version is using the tainted missive will hurt you exactly 25% of your maximum health. Not current, maximum. So if you get hit, it happens to some people where they get hit in the last queen phase, especially when they take a hit in earlier phases, is that they'll wind up killing themselves on the queen.
I already done that sometimes.
So
what was this time though?
Well, it's probably about a 23 something another.
Yeah. Let's go with that. He got like a 3 minutes world record. That's a real good improvement.
Yeah, it beat my world record of 5 minutes. But yes, I see people in the chat saying stuff about saving Kath. There is a second hidden ending where if you beat the game in 20 minutes, in less than 20 minutes, you save Kath. But everyone knows that Kath is already saved because you didn't talk to Kath as you walked up to the as
She's
you all
fine.
walked up to the Queen Angel fight. She was just resting her eyes there.
Like,
But maybe she'll help you in the Queen fight if you're a little bit faster.
she was fine. She's just taking a nap. Fighting evil takes a lot of energy, you know?
Oh, the timer's cut off apparently. So it's actually 23:53. Makes sense. So Pawn here is walking up to the Queen fight to finish his run of the game. And yeah, he's going to be I don't know. This is actually, in my opinion, one of the more relaxing phases of the game. Everything's stressful up until Loopiar, IMO.
For sure. Even like Loopiar itself is not the hardest part of the Pinnacle Attacker. At least for me. Getting the wind is way harder. Like, those platforms can be tricky. Pawn got a first cycle angel there.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get the one cycle angel once you get used to. Oh, he. I don't know what Pawn's doing. I think the tricky part, at least, so you can easily kind of get through if you just know where to go of the Oritsugaro. But I think the tricky part to optimizing it is just switching between cat and human form. Because cats can't climb ladders, but it's faster on the ground. But you do need to do a little bit of upward traversal. So, cat form, human form. I think there are 2 ladders there.
About it, yeah. At least 2 that you can't climb as a cat, that you can just jump around.
Pawn's here. I think he has all the boss items, so he shouldn't have any difficulty with this boss. So let's see if he gets the 1 cycle. Yeah, actually he did. It looks a little slow to me, but he got it. And he stopped his timer a little early from the looks of it. So, I don't know.
That's weird. Maybe he has like manual splits and not auto splitter.
Yeah, that can happen. That's how I wound up bumping the button on my races against, I think, Muffin. So, last phase of the Queen, pretty easy. 3 triple combos, fully supercharged arrows, and GG.
There we go, GG.
So, will the magic of rematch work? No, it won't. Of course it doesn't. Not like this. Interesting. I guess Pawn done. Sorry, there's stuff going on in the IRL. So I'll just make another race for these guys. And yeah, we'll see how things go for the next one.
Yeah, this was quite the rough run for Pawn, but he can definitely like get a better one now. Like, even RNG was against Pawn.
Yeah, it took what, 1 dive, 2 dives?
2 dives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They both were very consistent though.
Yeah, honestly, the heyyyhoooo played a really smooth run. Pawn took an unfortunate death in the subterranean grave, and I think he took a reset on Frida as well.
Yeah, he got the laser. He forgot to hit her when she was charging.
Yeah, I thought it was I noticed that too when he was doing it. But hopefully, I don't know. Maybe his mind was somewhere else. I know he picked up Hollow Knight recently, so maybe he forgot. So let's see. Checking out. They're not here yet. Oh wait, it was working. Rip.
What?
The rematch thing was working. It said entry open. Interesting. Did it work? Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Okay. Well. Sub 21 or riot. Guess I'll just peek around what's going on here. So yeah. Pawn. Let's see. I guess plug the game. Oh, looks like they're both ready. Never mind. I'll unplug the game. So they're going in for round 2. Let's hope for game 3, even though that would put us over schedule.
It will be fine. Second match should be 100%. Would be fun.
AVIB 100%. That'll be a category. Genocide
or maybe
Grove.
just cat percent.
All right, so here we are again at the beginning of the game. Speaking of Genocide Grove, Genocide Grove is a sort of a mode that I think Drimfox came up with as during a stream one night. This grove is notorious for ruining runs. The imp RNG is just, let's just say you gotta pray to imp if you want to get through this place in a reasonable time.
We are lucky to play on easy during this tournament, to be honest.
Yeah, if you play on other difficulties, so on normal, not much would change. You just wouldn't get items at the beginning of the game. But if you play in hard, you have less health, and if you play on insane, you are one hit killed. And insane is actually the category I run. So I once spent 6 hours on stream in this grove, giving it the nickname Reset City. This grove, sometimes it doesn't want to let you go. The imps like you too much.
Except that one that we don't get to see during the run, but it's sitting on the ledge.
Yeah, if you give her she's required for, I believe she's required for one of the categories. I think it's 100% because she gives you an item. I just can't recall what item that is.
You give her the mushroom, right?
Yeah, you give her the mushroom. One of these days, hey, who needs to teach me how he does that arrow trick to open up the chest down there?
I have no idea how to do that. I also do the melee attack Fawn just did.
Mm-hmm.
And he says it's easy, so I get like kinda shy to ask.
He says everything's easy. So they've been picking up 3 chests throughout this run, throughout the grove here. They need 80 money to purchase an item from the shopkeep as we enter Karst City outskirts, which we'll see in a moment. But let's see the boss strats here. Ooh, Adia put on her dancing shoes, so it doesn't look like gonna give heyyyhoooo the free 10-12 seconds.
He missed the quick kill again.
Pawn doing the buffer strat. That's actually a relatively new strat that people put forward. It goes something like you step back, and when she goes for the attack, you wait for the attack sound, you pause, and then you fire. Something like that. Oh no.
You got poisoned. Oh.
Ooh.
That was
so. That's a big oof. Where's Zoph's split timer? Split sound. So Pawn just bought the crystal seed from the shopkeep, and that's what he bought that's what he grabbed the 80 dongers for. heyyyhoooo getting the quick kill second time round. What's the crystal seed for?
It powers up our attack by 50% for some time. It's quite good, especially this early in the game. Like after we get the finale item, the missive, it gets obsolete, but during the start it's so good.
Yeah, it increases your attack by 50%. applies to arrows and melee hits, to my recollection. And Pawn's here in the Mocha fight. Is Mocha going to be kind to him today? Gives him the patches. Mocha has 3 attacks. He has the patches, he has the donuts, which is when he shoots a bunch of balls around. It looks like a Toho game. And he has the curse ball, which you saw in the last game. You don't want to get hit by the curse ball. The AoE area region is pretty huge, and if you get cursed, then you can't use items, which implies to the fairy item, the hidden fairy item that Pawn used just now. The fairy item, you can use it once, just like the crystal seed per bell. You activate it by pressing up, up, down, down, left, right, and there's a reference to this in the Oritsugaro if you visit one of the rooms.
I can never get used to the way you call that place.
No, I'm doing this on purpose, man. Don't worry about it. The Royal Pinakothek, I can say it properly.
I'm just kidding with it.
Just for the memes. You know me, I'm all about the memes. So Pawn has a little bit of a lead here. This looks like about maybe 20-30 seconds.
Maybe a bit more if you count the cutscene.
Well, they both have to eat the same cutscene. This is Princess Airy. Boss items, right. So, the Bachman patches. That spawns a bunch of patches that crash down on your enemy. The positioning of you actually matters. So if you're facing right when you use them, I believe it comes in a little bit more narrow than if you're facing left. I might have those two reversed. But one way or the other, the angle at which the patches come in is a little different. It does not apply to the fairy item. I didn't say it applied to the fairy item. I shouldn't have anyway. Did I not fix the audio?
Yep. There we go.
Sorry guys, I'm not used to using audio. I'm doing the audio. I'll get it eventually.
What do you think about these bats underwater?
The bats? Oh yeah, the bats. They're not. They used to be worse. Believe it or not. So the 3 used to spawn underwater. Now there's only 1, and the bats only spawn from the opposite side of which you enter the room. At a random height. So again, if you're playing on insane difficulty where you get hit once, it's all ogre. The bats are not friendly creatures, but on easy, normal, hard, they're damage boosts, and they're pretty okay.
Heyyyhoooo getting the safety bell there?
Yeah. Yeah, safety belt choices have been... I don't know. Would you reset for the sparse thread? Do you think the sparse thread's that important?
Actually, I would, mostly because I don't think I would be able to kill Final without them, without getting hit, but I think they are quite important and speed up a lot. I would probably reset the entire run though. I'm not sharing a race though.
The sparse thread. The sparse thread sends out a shockwave which can stagger enemies. So it's pretty useful in the Fennel fight. Fennel, there are backup strats for Fennel, but they're pretty spoopy. Pawn's going for the corner camp strat. This might be a place where heyyyhoooo can pick up some time if he gets no teleports.
So far, so good. Oh,
and then Pawn gets the teleport. Why did I say teleport? And then I said it again. So heyyyhoooo here is going to take the lead. Thanks to a teleport. I'm sorry, Pawn. I didn't mean it, I swear.
He wasn't even that close to her.
Yeah, if you go for melee strats, she tends to teleport more often, but you need to eat like 4 teleports before it's not worth it anymore. So they use the imp to blow up the wall here. The Bachman, sorry. And now they're on their way to the fight with Lubella once more. One thing that I never understood why people feel the need to shoot random arrows. Like, watch, Pawn's gonna do it too, and he... No? Everyone seems, whenever you're in elevators or whenever people like in these weird sections, they'll shoot random arrows. And like, it doesn't cost you time, but I never understood why.
I just do that in the Grove one. In the second and third elevators, you can be a cat, so you can just like stay there and sleep.
I think there's a bingo card for this game where one of the bingo cards, one of the tickets is be in cat form and sleep. Another ones have Kaho yawn during a boss fight. Hey, who has to eat a dive here?
Oh.
So that's no bueno.
He didn't lose the patches though.
Yeah, so this is an interesting fight because the patches and the fairy still hit Lubella when she's underground. So you know, you can safely spam your patches and stuff while you're here. Pawn took a dive as well. Mamma mia. The choice to roll whenever the ground balls come up is actually a very scary choice. I've killed many a run by rolling off the ledge when I see those things. When you see the lights on the ground, you should just walk away. You'll be fine, and you can charge an arrow while you're doing it. You got to remember the ABCs to Momodora. Always be charging your arrows. Whenever you roll or when you get hit, you lose arrow charge. So it's not the best idea to roll if you don't have to in a boss fight.
You almost never went to roll during a boss fight, to be honest. Do you ever actually?
I think the only boss fight that I actually roll in would probably be the Mocha fight, to avoid a curse ball. But if I've gone that far, it's not good anyway.
Mocha is just too strong.
Okay. So, elevator. Some people practice their roll jumps here. An interesting thing with the cat and the roll jumps is that so when Kaho does a roll jump, she doesn't have any kind of stagger animation at the end of her roll. The cat does. So you can see people getting around that little stagger animation by doing a roll jump and then attacking, doing an attack in the middle of the air, which cancels the stagger animation. So it's the quickest way to move around is to not only roll jump as cat form, but to roll jump, attack, cancel, and you want to jump as short as possible.
In fact, if you don't cancel the animation, it's the slowest movement in the game. Actually,
I have the numbers somewhere because I made the guide, and when I was making the guide, I did comparisons against the slowest movements.
There you go. Knight, easy peasy.
That poor knight. Even in AVIP, when you kill him with Bachman patches, he's still kind of a meme. But here we are on our way back to pick up the warp crest. I think Pawn's about a minute behind now, getting close to it. So that's a little unfortunate here. The body of Adia stays there for the rest of the game. That's that. Do you know? Actually, maybe you'll know. The name of this area, I always call it the Frorecciere. But do you happen to know what this is supposed to be? Is it Italian or anything like that? Latin?
I have no idea. It doesn't seem like Italian to me, but hey, I don't actually know a lot about Italian stuff. Even though I should, but...
on our way back to the Cinder Chambers. The Cinder Chambers, I think, has the coolest music, coolest area of music in the game. Karst City has like this ominous, deafening roar. The Grove, I think I just have PTSD because of so many resets. So I try to block it out. You don't. Whiteleaf Memorial Park has pretty cool music, but you don't get to hear it very long. And that leaves the Oritsugaro, which has pretty cool music, to be honest. I don't know. I guess the Cinder Chambers kind of edges it out. Here we have the fight. Kath. She assists you in your quest here to handle the arsonist. Question is, will heyyyhoooo stay? Will he say hello? Will he say yes to Kath? That's the real OTP right there.
There should be. They should say yes. Like, she deserves it. She just wants to be heard.
Unfortunately, if you say yes, you have to eat like 7 dialogue boxes, so it's really slow. So everyone says no.
And then we become roaches.
Come on, heyyyhoooo, I believe in you. Say yes. He said no!
You damn roach. Why?
That's some good arsonist placement, by the way. You want to have her as far as you can on the right, and with Kath as close to you as possible. Kath always has to walk to you. If she's closer, and if the arsonist is closer to the right, then you are closer to the next room. So that's actually really good arsonist placement on the path of heyyyhoooo. Let's check out his cat RNG.
That's a pretty good one.
That
like,
is... yeah. I think that's...
5 white, 2 caramels? That's good.
Almost optimal.
Almost optimal. It's always close to optimal though.
Oh, I guess that's just the way the law of large numbers works here. Pawn cleaning up his arsonist, easy peasy. And here we go to the best waifu in the game. Oh, by the way, the pocket incense that they picked up, it increases the damage of melee and arrow. It gives a slight stagger to your arrow attacks, which is why it's so important. You can use it to stagger enemies. It's used here, and again, heyyyhoooo does the BM on the BM patches on Fennel,
and even teabag after it. Cat teabag, also pretty good cat RNG and pound screen.
Yeah, he gave up a white cat for a black cat. Other than that, the same RNG as a heyyyhoooo. The Tainted Missive that they just picked up, as mentioned last time, it at the cost of 25% of your maximum health, you can increase. I think it doubles your attack. Double stop if he's in the chat. He'll correct me. I think it doubles your attack, your melee attacks. It's a really good item, but it will always take 25%. So if your health is too low and you use it, enjoy the reset, kid. And Pawn made it through pretty easily as well.
This is a pretty clean Pinakoteka for heyyyhoooo right now.
It seems intimidating to a lot of newer players because there's just so much movement. But in all honesty, once you get it, it feels really good to do it. So I always tell new players, don't get intimidated. It's not the end of the world. You'll get it with practice. It took me about an hour of practice. Then I was able to consistently get it down pat. You need to watch out for the sword boys there. These sword boys actually do a lot of damage. As you can see, heyyyhoooo's already down to half health. And he does missive strats on Lupion Magnolia. So if he takes a bad hit up here, he might have to change strats. It looks like he's fine. Well, he had a little bit more than half, but no double rolls. Loopy R can be tricky. If she does triple or double rolls on you, you're gonna have a bad time, kid.
One Psycho Magnolia too.
That's possible thanks to the magic of
Good.
Missive. And he's on his way downtown. These paintings here that Pawn's sort of fighting with, they can be kind of a pain. And they cause me the most grief in my runs. It's not even the skeletons, it's the goddamn paintings.
They're so scary at start. Like,
And they
I can only imagine them on Insane, like...
It's pretty spoopy, I tell ya. Incredibly spoopy. But yeah, they actually have a pretty good reason for being there. The name of the place, Royal Pinacoteca, it means Royal Art Gallery. So the paintings are the art in the art gallery. Hey,
Oh, there's one thing about the Loopcar fight I think we didn't mention, is how we activate the patch, the first patch before the fight actually begins.
Oh yeah, yeah. Why don't you go give us the rundown on the Loopy R strats?
When you first go into that screen, there's a certain place where a cutscene will trigger. And if you activate the first patch before the cutscene, you can skip the cutscene and then the patches will hit Loopy R as soon as the fight actually starts. And then you can activate the second one. Like, he activates, now he skips the cutscene, and there he goes. It's quite interesting.
If you do it properly, you don't have to worry about her doing double or triple rolls on you. I've got a video out there where I think I counted, it was 5 rolls. She hit me on the 4th roll, and then she rolled again just for BM.
Oh wow. Loopcar is just too aggressive sometimes.
She wants to get to know Kaho. And Kaho's a pretty lady. She wears thigh highs. Second best waifu in the game.
Wait, who's the first?
It's Fennel, of course.
You may be wrong there.
Oh, we're gonna have to fight here? Commentators fight?
Commentators fight?
No! Hey, what are you doing?
No!
No!
Thanks. Oh my god, that was the scariest moment of this whole tournament. He was just checking on her.
Now, if you might have heard the sound, she gets there herself. She commits honorable Sudoku. You'll hear the sound like Oscar in Dark Souls. If you stuck with her.
She was preparing some barbecue actually. She was cutting some meat. She's alright.
So they picked, by the way, they picked up the heavy arrows from Loopy R Magnolia, which increases your arrow damage by some number greater than 0, I guess. It's important because with the heavy arrows and the pocket incense, you can do 1 cycle strats on Queen Phase 1. Without it, you're gonna have to use an item if you want a 1 cycle Queen Phase 1, but I'd save the items for Queen Phase 2, to be honest. If you're in that position, if you're in that pickle.
He's not that much slower though. Like, I think if he just went for the fight without heavy arrows, he might have saved more time than like resetting the Loopy R fight there.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a little bit faster if you don't reset. But the choice is, of course, up to you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, heyyyhoooo shot his arrows the wrong way. He was trying to go for the 360 no scope, and he instead did the 180 no scope, which would be more impressive if you ask me. But I don't know. But here he is, Queen Phase 2 F3. 3 melee combos and the arrows.
There you go, GG.
GG indeed.
I was actually worried for a moment that Palm would also talk to Kaf.
Talking to Cat. Yikes. If you do say hi, if you do say yes, she'll give you an item called the Passiflora, which is it's a healing item. There are healing items in this game. They passed one on the way, and it's called the Bellflower. But no one uses it because no one takes enough damage to need it. There's no fall damage or anything. And the Passiflora is just another healing item. I think the only time I've ever seen it used is if you take damage on the queen fight, and then you don't have enough health for missive. So people will use the queen, the Bellflower, to give them enough health to not die to missive. Hey, mad props for the improvisation strats.
Yeah, it works. You can also use the sealed wind if you want during the queen fight if you need to. I think I saw someone doing that in a race and I was like, whoa, you can actually hit stuff with that.
You can, but you're not gonna be killing the queen with it. Let's just say that. And honestly, you lose time doing that. Some people might do it for memes on the queen phase too. I think you can barely hit her with it. Going for the patches, and gonna take a few more combos for Pawn here, but he should wrap things up nicely. Queen Phase 3 music's pretty cool. IMO. Might be my second favorite boss music in the game.
It's one of the best. This whole soundtrack is so good and well made.
And oh, I should probably mark
GG.
heyyyhoooo as winner. Alrighty. So that's those are some races. 2 races we finished. We're a little late. So we'll have to make it speedy, but I'll send out the inviter roonies. There we go. But yeah, those were 2 races.
And both were quite good races.
Yeah. So I'll pull them in.
Hey,
Hello, my comrade.
Hi.
Congratulations on your
Yeah,
race.
thank you.
GG.
Sorry about the late starts. But yeah, you made it through the
what up,
2-0.
Tom?
Your next opponent's going to be Navix here.
Finally an easy task.
Shots were fired.
Yeah. So yeah, anything in those 2 runs you complain about? I saw you you made a slight detour to say hi to Kath. What was that up? What was that about?
She was just like hanging around and sleeping. And
You just woke her up. How mean.
no, I didn't. Didn't you see I press no?
Well, you woke her up though. She was resting,
Yeah.
and then you're like, "Hey, what's up?" And it's just like, you know, she was just so demoralized that she felt like she had to die. But then you said no. Thank you for that.
Well, then I guess we have
Making the right
something in
choices.
common. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, how do you feel about Navix? Any words for Navix as he as you head into the match there?
Well, if I play like I did today, then it's not gonna be very hard for him, I guess.
All right. I guess we'll pull in Pawn then. Hey, Pawn.
Hey, what's up?
GG.
Hey. So yeah, this is the bracket of alternative success, and unfortunately, alternative success will be for someone else.
Close
How do you feel about the races today?
My first run was unfortunate. My second one was pretty average, so can't complain too much. Had a shot in the second race, I think, but hey, it was good. So nothing to be unexpected.
Did you practice any new strats for this race?
This race in particular, Not really. Maybe a little bit in the early game, like just optimizing some movement in a few screens, like before Lubella and stuff. But I don't think I got it, except for I don't think I got it this race, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess it's an open question to both of you. Do either of you watch the races while they're happening, or do you for the
No.
blind?
No, I don't. I did have chat open, mostly to complain when I got hit by spikes. But no, I didn't watch the races.
Spikes equal yikes. Yeah, you took two unfortunate resets in the first race, but yeah, these are our 2 races. We've gone a little bit over time, so I don't want to hold things up. But do either of you have final remarks as we? Oh, Catnip. I'm sorry. I feel like I've been monopolizing. Do you have anything you want to ask?
Actually, I just want to say to people watching to join the Momodora community and start running this game. It's simple, it's fun, it's quick. We have cats.
Agreed. We do have cats.
We have 2 cats, and there's a correct cat and an incorrect cat.
Wait.
Oh, by the way, did you see what happened on the Arsonist fight in the first run?
No.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
Oh,
Someone took a whip. I know heyyyhoooo took a whip in one of them.
She teleported and she immediately whipped. Like, she didn't even wait. That was pretty BM.
That's rough.
she wasn't
Yeah,
playing by
there
the
was a
rules.
lot of funky stuff happening on those races. But yeah,
All right.
GG's.
GG's, dude.
GG's,
Was
my speed
fun.
friends.
Yeah, good races.
Alrighty. And then I guess that'll be it from us. Thank you all for stopping by. And I hope to see some of you guys in the Discord later. Until then, peace.
See ya.
Out.
Cat.
Bye.
Don't forget